everybody at once.
I can start if you want, or Adrian, Sanan. I'm the newest member out of this group. I started at KRM about a week before everything shut down with COVID. So it's been an interesting path for me, a little different than the typical startup. But I'm the donations and events coordinator, and then I also Adrian and I kind of co-head the arts programming for the most part, along with some community partners as well for KRM. And I was really drawn to KRM because I mean, initially, I took a course at U of L called the Anthropology of Refugees. I moved back to Louisville recently myself, a few years ago, from kind of all over the country, and decided to kind of reboot my life and finish school in a different capacity and change my major. So it's a whole rehaul of my life, and I chose anthropology for the major. And the former one of the former kind of heads of the board at KRM, Julie Petit, did a class, Anthropology of Refugees, and it was something that I was a bit ignorant to beforehand, but I was really interested in the topic. And an absolutely heartbreaking class. I mean, you can't really get through, I think, hearing about that experience and the trauma and challenges that those folks are going through without, I think, having a really human, emotional reaction. And it really tugged at me more than just emotionally. It was something I really felt drawn to in terms of just something in my soul that made me want to just see how I could contribute to this. And me moving back to Louisville, also, I think when you're talking about diversity, I was really nervous to move back to Louisville because I'm from a really small town in Kentucky and with little to no diversity whatsoever. And that was never good enough for me, and I never felt comfortable, and I never felt at home there. I was always too curious about what everyone else had going on and what that experience was. I just wanted to meet other people, and I just had such little exposure. And so I kind of made that my life. I lived in California and both southern and northern Mexico, Seattle, Austin, and for the longest time in New York City. And I loved it. New York was the best for me because you talk about diversity. It's hard to find a more diverse place, and I really thrived there. I loved it. I loved not knowing who you were going to meet from where every day. And I think that diversity for me, it's a necessary component for our humanity, because I think it's so lacking without that, because I mean, we're people. There's no difference. We're all people. And I think the more that you can wrap your head around everyone else's experience, that's what really matters. And I think that's really what we try to do at KRM, and not just through the arts, with putting that kind of programming out there, but that outreach to really give people a different understanding, because it's a deeper connection to it. Because so many people, even in Louisville, where we think it is, I mean, like you were saying, it's supposed to be a compassionate city and a diverse place, but there's so much more room for growth, just in this area of the country in general. And for me, like with diversity, like, you have to implement that understanding and that deeper connection to other people. Otherwise, it's not diverse. Everyone's just kind of living in their own bubbles. And with refugees, people that have gone through this experience and that trauma and that toll that takes, and I think for other people to be able to grab onto that and get that, and with a deeper understanding of other people, you're going to end up hopefully having just a more cohesive, kind, enlivened community as a whole. I guess that's about it.
That was a lot. Thank you, Alexandria. Who wants to go next?
My name is Sanan Hamza. I came to Louisville on October 2016, and I was resettled by Kentucky Refugee Ministries. And I, I've been living in Louisville since then. And on actually 2017, I joined KRM team. I got hired as a interpreter service coordinator, and I've been working with interpreters, and it's really fun. As Alexandra, mentioned, actually, you're working with different cultures, different people, meeting new people every day. It's really fun. Plus the humanity side of it. Get to help people to better understand the situation in America, that they have like difficulties in understanding English. So we do help every day, whether it's for hospitals or law firms or any other places. We do help in language needs in many aspects, and we also do translation for city and for places that they need to put flyers for the other community, that African community, Nepali community, Arabic community. So I'm really honored to do this job, to help many people out there to understand everything in this city. Another great thing about Louisville, that I've been enjoying it with my family here. It's a very diverse city, and like also people from Louisville, they're very open-minded. I've been here for like almost 5 years, and we've never seen anything that makes us to regret for a second that we came here. It's really nice, and people are like generally welcoming in the city. I've also been participating in many music festivals, activities within our KRM, youth programs and art programs. Um, I do drum. I'm a percussionist. I do drum and I do some strings, but I've been, participating in many events as a percussionist, and, mixing Middle Eastern music with um, Western music. It's really nice. And it's, something new to Louisville. And not just that, we have been working with Spanish community, that mixing Cuban drums with Iraqi and Kurdish drums, and different kind of rhythms, and educating people on different cultures music, like African, and Middle Eastern, Persian, different region in that area. um, Now I actually also do accounting a little bit in KRM, so I kind of have two titles, and I still do the music. So we're trying to do as much as we can just to accomplish something and be part of this great mission. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
My name is Adrienne Eisenminger, and I work as the Family and Youth Services Manager and a Program Leader at KRM. And, I initially was really drawn to KRM for some of the same reasons I think that Alex was. I had done a lot of work internationally, especially around clean water, hygiene, and health education, sanitation, but was really, I guess, wanting to invest more in the community, but also get to know more of the community. I was new to Louisville and had learned about KRM, started volunteering as a tutor mentor, and just kind of fell in love with the organization, but also just really got, very invested and felt invested in as well. I was working with a family and kind of became part of the family through the work that I was doing. And it was really incredible. And I think that people that get involved with KRM feel the same way. They want, like Alex was saying, they want to welcome, but also just the impact that the folks that we work with, the clients, make on our lives too, I think can't be underestimated. I mean, immigrants and refugees are the main driving force, I think, behind a lot of the economic growth that's happened in our city, in Louisville, over the last decade or so. And I don't think that number gets out there enough, but also just the richness of diversity that it brings and how powerful that is, because the United States of America is a very diverse place. I know that has come up for debate several times over the past few years, especially, but that's who we are. We are a diverse group of people trying to find common unity, right? And I think that the work that KRM does is on target with that. I think I keep doing, so I've been at KRM for 11 years, but the main reason is because of the people that we serve and the impact that they've had on me. And I believe the impact that they've had on our community, and the work that we're doing with the arts, I think is really important. Sanan was touching on that, because we have people from all over the world, plus, folks that were born and raised right here in Louisville or wherever, from the United States, getting together to blend musical styles, to do visual art together. And it's part of that bridge building and that unity. I think that's really beautiful and powerful, and so important to the fabric of our community. I know Louisville has a long way to go, but I'm thankful that we get to be a part of that, and that our clients are a part of that too. And I think that, working together to, highlight the importance of diversity, growth, oneness and unity is so important. And I hope that even through doing this together, I hope that we can share some of the work that Louisville's trying to do, in those regards.